Hi, everybody. How are you? Welcome to the show. How's it going? It's Wednesday afternoon, I think. Is it still? I don't know. It was snowing here in Las Vegas like an hour ago. What? Oh, look, I know it happens every so often here. By the way, it's not that weird. Maybe, I want to say 6 years ago, it snowed basically the same amount. Close. But this time it was like, first of all, it was borderline hail. Big kind of, they weren't so much snowflakes as snow chunks. I wouldn't call it, that sounds disgusting. I wouldn't say that, they didn't flutter. They were like, we're here, where's the party? It's very much, they were like the tourists of snowflakes. I suppose it's perfect in its own way. And yeah, so I looked out at my backyard and it was pretty hilarious. The cats were meowing at the window like, I'm used to occasionally chasing a tiny bug around the glass, but this is like overload. It's nutty. It was crazy pants. You know, it's crazy pants everywhere. I mean, we very little to complain about. And by the way, it thawed almost immediately. It sat there for a little while. If you see my on Twitter, I posted the video of it coming down. It sat. It was like, it didn't stick around. You know, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. I think is true when it comes to snow chunks. But it's now just, it's odd because it's on the backyard furniture accumulated in like equal size water droplets. Like each piece just went duh and then melted and then just like, I'm staying here. I'm just going to stay here as a small, above sea level puddle. I'm just going to be, it's hilarious. So it's raining in Ohio. It's raining in a lot of places. I forget how old I was when I realized, I think we were on a car trip and I was like, maybe 4. I was like, oh, if it's raining here, that doesn't mean it's raining everywhere. You know, when it's like, we just drove out of the rain, but we had to turn around and go back and get something. It's still raining. So it comes down in, I see. You know, when you're like 4 years old and you're like, I get it. Yeah. Do you think it's sleet? I don't know. I think we're going to have to hire an Eskimo. They have all the words for snow, and they can tell us directly. When you need a fucking expert. That's what I say. That's what I think. Hello, welcome. Glad you could be here. Like, subscribe, give a thumbs up. Also stuff. Where's the thing? Hold on. I should add this here too at some point so that I can add this to the, it would be a media file. It'd be a media file if I add that. Put this in here. The thing, this business, no? Yeah, I'll do this one. Add this. Hey, there it is. Dink, doink, dank, frap. Yeah, don't forget to smash the like. I'm just saying. I'm pretty sure I can make that play again. All right, can I do that? Does that do it? Yep, there you go. 1, smash the like, you jerk. Okay, there you go. You can tell I busy myself with things when shit fan decide, now I had the time of my life. Yeah, you gotta keep walking forward. You gotta, if we've learned anything from the Donner Party, it's that don't stop walking just because you're peckish. So, a couple things. Trump went to East Palestine, Ohio, the site of one of the most obvious, low-level, egregious attacks on the environment and safety regulations that he ever had. And, of course, the maggots from all around showed up. And, of course, nobody who can't stand him bothered. So, I mean, you got people driving from all over in this particular area, bringing their kids and whatever. It's a small spattering of people. It's fine. But the idea that somehow, like, all of East Palestine loves us some Trump is all over the Twitter machine right now.
Thank you, sir. Honor to meet you, sir. Mr. Trump.
Mr. Trump.
What do you make it about Biden not showing up? You showing up before he did.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming here and taking credit for other people's charity. We'll get to that in a minute. Autographing hats. I mean, he could be throwing paper towels, but this is so much better, isn't it? Isn't it? Isn't it, though? It is, isn't it? It is. I think it is. You think it is. How did I spell my name again? Oh, and it's a nice one, he said about that hat. It's that person will never forget that moment. He said my hat was nice. He looked at my hat and said it was a nice one. It is a nice one. I've had that one. I found it on the road. I was like, that's a good hat. Pull over. I've been wearing it for 3 years now. He said it was a nice hat. I'm never going to, I never did wash it. I don't wash anything. I'm never going to start washing things. Like, thank you, Mr. Trump. Thank you for not forgetting about us. Why? Because you think he remembers the last time he was in East Palestine, Ohio?
Thank you, Don Jr., too.
Yeah, Don Jr., too. You're here. Have you seen the drug house? There's a... Don, I don't know if you have time, you know, but about 8 blocks down there, there's a drug house. There's plywood all over it. The city's condemned it and called it a blight. But you can still they've had I think it holds the record for the county in arrests of convicted sex offenders. They all go there or whatever. You should stop by. It's like the McDonald's of drugs. It's right over. I'm not kidding, by the way. There's a drug house in East Palestine that people in the neighboring cities and towns drive to. That's been a problem. It just the only reason I know that is because he was like, "It's a good place. You got zero crime here, right? There's zero crime. There's no room. I don't see any black people. So obviously," which is exactly what he was. You don't have any crime. Look at all these white people.
My daughter was like that.
We love you, baby.
Oh, hey, thank you, sir. Thank you for your service.
Mr. Trump, Mr. Trump.
And by the way, he does the tap on the shoulder to the Secret Service guy so they can get the fuck out. That's the signal. Get me the fuck out of here. By the way, he says at one point when he's leaving, he goes, thank you. Have fun to the people who are living in a city that very possibly might be carcinogenic. Like the entire city has been effectively bombed with a chemical weapon by their Republican governor. And he's like, have fun being poor, shitty people. Thanks for letting me use you as in a campaign ad. We make sure we get some shots of you crying about how wonderful I am. So anyways, here he is, ladies and gentlemen. Hold it, stop. Here's some remarks. Fox put this out, by the way. I don't know if this is current. Maybe it is, but it's not good. It's not good. Not good. Trump, he says, Trump vows to stand with East Palestine community after Ohio derailment tragedy. Hey, remember all the times he went to those cities where they had like school shootings and he did the same thing? No, I mean neither. Remember all the times he went to states he didn't win to show that he's the kind of guy who wants to be the president for everybody, whether that, no, you don't remember that? What do you think the odds are that the county that East Palestine is in, if he hadn't won it handily, he'd have gone, fuck those people. For real. So anyways, this is his remarks. It's relatively short. Apparently Fox News posted it, but they did not carry it live. Yes, betrayal, deep, dark, vicious betrayal from the faux news. Thank you. It's nice to be indoors. We're here. Hey, you. I don't know any of these folks.
Well, thank you very much, everybody.
By the way, either right before this or right after, he took everybody out to eat. All the firemen and the workers there took them out to eat and picked up the tab like the generous duty is using campaign funds at McDonald's. So, you know, they've been through it. He wants to give them a taste of the good life, something they may not experience, you know, something that he gets the benefit of all the time because he's super rich. So he took them to McDonald's, and he was like, send me the check and I will give it to the person who has the credit card for the campaign.
But it's an honor to be here. It's an incredible place and some incredible.
Yeah, tell us all about it. It's an incredible place. It's just what you've learned a lot. I mean, I don't even think you'll get through the speech. I think you should just go on and on about what you loved about East Palestine.
Incredible supporters and people that have worked with.
Oh yeah, the incredible part, the supporters. People who like me is basically what he's saying. I love this place, even though you guys glow in the dark and your fish tastes like a lye sandwich. I want to thank you for kissing my ass, for basically causing this derailing. I mean, you know how I said I could shoot someone in Fifth Avenue and not lose any support? I didn't know until today that I could derail a train full of polyvinyl chloride, kill every fish in 150 miles, and coat everyone's house in dioxin and not lose any support. That's special. That's very special. Because Republicans love guns, so they probably will let any Republican shoot somebody. But in this particular case,
us for a long time, and we've been here for them. And even a few days ago, we had some of our top people come up, and it's an honor. And we're here.
Some of our top people. Who? J.D. Vance? A couple of days ago? This shit happened 2 weeks ago. DeWine waited 2 weeks to declare a federal emergency. You know what? They were like, FEMA won't do anything because the governor has to ask. You know who's in charge? OEMA. Ohio Emergency Management Agency. Not the Federal Emergency Management Agency. Yeah. OEMA, 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 OEMA. In Palestine, the stinky Palestine, the fish shall die tonight. Yeah. Yeah. OEMA. It's not, I don't know. I think you should call it like state emergency management or like Ohio State Emergency Management Agency so that it's like OSEMA. So it has something, but OEMA, really?
Today in East Palestine
Sure.
to show our love and support for our fellow Americans. And
yeah, and you know all those things that happened that weren't this? I'm obviously not going to that other train wreck a couple of counties over. They didn't vote for me.
this hour of need, and that's what it is. It was an hour of
Just a couple weeks. This hour of need, I'm really only here for about an hour. They said it would only be an hour. And we got the shots. Okay, fuck you guys. See you at the voting booth in 2024. Not really.
But they've done some incredible work in a very short period of time, and they're getting a lot
Yes, about an hour, I think.
of credit for it, and they have to be getting credit. We tell you that when they do good, and we tell you when people do bad.
Yes. We tell you when people deserve credit, and we also will tattle on people. The fuck is with this? What's the setting at Fox News? Shit. Autoplay. Let's quality up this feed, man. Or maybe that's how their shit was.
Chief and your police and your mayor.
Your chief and your police and your braves and your I enjoyed your wigwams.
And everybody else, they've done incredibly. And Bill, JD's been here for 4 days. I've been watching him every day.
You really? That's kind of creepy, don't you think? Do you have you got a drone on him or?
JD Vance has been incredible to the people.
Yes, he's been there for 4 days. The last 4 days of 2 weeks. Of the last 2 weeks, he's there. You know when he came in? After Biden was allowed to send FEMA people in. Yeah. Anyways, the CDC, the Health and Human Services, NTSB, DOT, they've all been there going over this shit. But Biden didn't send anybody. They don't. First of all, we're a big country. A lot of that shit's on autopilot. But the governor has to ask for certain federal help so people don't barge the fuck in. And by the way, at some point, no doubt, he's going to say, if it was me, I'd have sent him in within 10 minutes. I'd say, fuck you, governor, here they come. And set a legal precedent where the president can send in National Guard or any federal agency and overrun any local or state office. I think that's what Republicans want.
People of East Palestine and to the nearby communities in Ohio and Pennsylvania, we have told you loud and clear, you are not forgotten. You are not forgotten. We stand.
Hi, stupid. It just happened. It just like it's 2 weeks old. Come back in 3 years when they're like, we're just making sure there are no cancer clusters. How's everybody's health? Did you guys get the site cleaned up? We're making sure there's people coming in here and they're tilling the soil over so that there's not a lot of these like leftover chemicals drifting up into your nasal passages as you traipse across the lawn in your underpants. So we're here. I'll be back in a couple of years to make sure. Yeah.
And with you, we pray for you, and we will stay with you in your fight to help answer and the accountability that you deserve. We'll have that accountability. It'll all be out there very clearly.
Yes, very clear answering accountability, and we'll answer that accountability very clearly because it's going to be Look at the look on J.D. Vance's face. What is it? J.D. Vance is going to. J.D. Vance wrote a book called Hillbilly Elegy. Hillbilly Elegy, and so he's a writer, so he can write, but I guess reasonably well. Understands what sentence structure is. By the way, text Ohio to 88022. You think that money's going to East Palestine? Or you think that's a campaign sticker right there? What do you think we're gonna get when do you think we'll get a look at the FEC's filing information on the money gathered from when people specifically texted Ohio to this number? What do you think? What are the odds? What's the chances that this dickhead is going to go, no, don't spend that money on fish delights for me. That goes for the dead fish delights in East Palestine, Ohio.
I want to thank Senator J.D. Vance for being here. I want to thank Congressman Bill Johnson, very special friends of mine. They became really very good friends of mine. I also want to recognize a man.
I have friends. They're my friends now, or whatever. Asshole, it's their state. And is DeWine with him? I don't think so.
Who has been working tirelessly for this community since the beginning of the nightmare. And Trent, where's Trent? He's very easy to find. Huh?
Oh, Trent's fat is what Trump just said. He's very easy to find. He's a fat guy in a purple shirt. Thanks, Trump. Very nice of you. He's very easy. Fuck you, dude. I think that's the mayor of East Palestine, if I'm not mistaken. What a dick thing to say. He's easy to find. What an asshole. Thanks. Don't say anything. Anyways.
In addition, let me express.
The mayor. Yeah, you should have maybe introduced him as the mayor. I don't know.
Tremendous respect and admiration for all of the police and firefighters and first responders and
most of them anyways.
All over the country.
The ones that voted for me.
There's such heroes, but this was a great example of it because that was a very dangerous looking sight. So I want to thank you all. Thank you very much.
That was a very dangerous looking sight. I saw it when I was watching it on the screens at Mar-a-Lago. It looked very fire. That looked like, was that regular fire or is that like super fire? It looked like super fire.
Okay. 19 days ago, tragedy struck this wonderful.
Mm-hmm. Oh, sorry. My bad. Not 2 weeks. 19 days ago. J.D. Vance waited over 2 weeks to come and help.
Village and rocked the lives of people throughout.
It rocked their lives. It rocked the party rocking all night long.
This area, long beyond this area.
Long beyond this area. Oh, good. This is going to be classic Trump.
It's been weeks since Americans have been inspired. They've just watched this over the weeks. They've been inspired by your strength and your courage and how you've come together to stand up for the families in your area and the families of this village and beyond. We've seen.
Again, all I can think of is all the fucking school shootings that he didn't do this for. This was an industrial accident. It didn't crash into a school there. It's a serious thing, but fuck off.
The first responders and railroad workers serving bravely in the line of duty. The railroad workers have been really incredible, actually.
Actually, have they? Have they now? Which ones? The workers from the company, or the ones that ignored the 2 signals where the axles were on fire?
And they've gone way above the call of duty.
I don't know what that means. Did they go down with the train?
We've seen citizens speaking up at the town halls, and we've seen organizations such as the East Palestine Community Foundation rising to the occasion to provide tremendous relief and help to the people that were so badly affected. So I want to thank you all. Fantastic job. Really great. Everybody's been.
Yeah, it's so great that everybody would get together to help other people in their town and to get help from outside for their town when this happened. That's weird. Do people really do that? Do people really care about their neighbors? I mean, I live 4 houses down from Epstein's house, but we would just FaceTime most of the time, or I would walk over. I would golf over, really. That's the only way I go walking is if I have a putter. That's how they get me to walk around.
We've all been watching on television.
And eating sandwiches and watching and throwing. Look at fucking J.D. Vance. Watching on television. This is fucking lame.
Beyond television. We've been getting on.
Even beyond television. I've been getting it from in the stars in the heavens, the signs and wonders that led me to Palestine. I rode 3 days on a camel to see the baby Jesus, the toxic Avenger baby Jesus, obviously, the trauma version of baby Jesus.
From the real news and from the fake news.
Yes, all the news that's fit to fake.
And the fake news we even believed in this case because they've covered it very fairly.
Then why are you calling them fake? All right. Okay. Hal. Hold it together. All right. Why? What?
Over the past few weeks, the community.
If fake news was even real in this moment, and I can tell because it turned out there was a train wreck when I came here. I didn't believe it for a long time. It's why it took me 19 days to come up here to an area that voted for me 80-10 with 10 abstaining for president.
The tough and resilient heart of America, and that's what it is. This is what it is.
It is a resilient, and it's a heart. It's the kidney. The kidney.
America right here. We're standing in America.
Oh, all right, good. Well, I'm glad not that. I thought it was the other Palestine. I was worried that you were going to get shot by an errant Israeli soldier bullet or get blown up for not being sufficiently loyal to Hamas. Shit. It's America, guys. Sorry, back out. We'll talk about something. I got to play a different clip. I I mean, it was a long flight. You can understand how he might be confused. They wrote it on the paper, though.
Unfortunately, as you know, in too many cases, your goodness
Unfortunately, you're in America? What the fuck does that mean? Hey, what the fuck? What the fuck does that mean? What the fuck's wrong with you? Unfortunately, we're in America, unfortunately. What?
and perseverance who were met with indifference and betrayal in some cases.
They were denied. Yes, the National Transportation and Safety Board was cheating on East Palestine with the Parks Department that's in charge of clearing the water out of the lake, and the Water Department. They were playing footsie with them during the whole meeting.
Biden and FEMA said they would not send federal aid to East Palestine under any circumstance.
Yeah, they'd singled it out. There was an executive order on day one. I don't give a fuck how many tornadoes. If a asteroid full of AIDS hits that fucking place, I'm not going. But Joe, why would you? No. That county and that whole town, they voted for Trump, so I'm not sending FEMA no matter what. If a volcano of werewolf dicks pops up out of the earth, I'm not sending FEMA under any circumstance. Shut the fuck
So
up.
I'm not going to send aid. I thought that was a strange statement because
Yes, it is. It was a strange statement when you said it because you're the only person who did. Even the mayor's like, that's not actually what.
I've been working with FEMA for a long time, 4 years, and they were great with us with the tornadoes, the hurricanes, and things like this.
Yeah, no, not things like this. The only time he used FEMA, tornadoes and hurricanes. After the cleanup, by the way, FEMA will come in and manage the emergency. But once it's past the emergency phase, that's when everybody else comes in. FEMA doesn't rebuild the fucking roads if a fucking earthquake cracked them. DOT does that in line with the state. He was president for 4 fucking years. He doesn't know this shit. Good Lord.
And it was a strange statement to come out, and they were doing nothing for you. They were intending to do absolutely nothing for you.
Yeah, they didn't want to do it, but since I came here, they're like, oh shit, Trump's going to go there, and what if he magically fixes it?
JD and I spoke, and they said, they're not coming. They're not going to come. And I said, that's very strange. FEMA.
Did you talk to DeWine, the governor, who is the one who has to ask for federal assistance before FEMA can come in? Did you talk to him? It's because, they have these things written up already. You just got to sign it. I declare where? East Palestine. From this mile marker to this mile marker, I declare a federal emergency in this area. Please help. And then they, of course, obviously, because it's a traditional system, they put it in the saddlebag of a Pony Express rider, and he gallops across the plains, and it takes him several days to get to D.C., and then he hops off and goes, hi-ho, and then someone comes out and goes, hear thee, and they take it out of the thing, and then someone types it up into an email.
Said specifically, this doesn't meet the criteria.
Right.
And that's horrible, and somebody has to do something for those people. I said back when I announced.
I replied, that's terrible. No, the criteria. What's the criteria? I don't know. I wasn't. I was busy on FEMA day when I was president. When they gave me the FEMA, what's FEMA's thing? I was, honest to God, I was watching Hannity. I dozed off and farted a bunch. I didn't hear a fucking thing.
Announced that I was coming. They changed their tune. It was an amazing phenomena.
No, DeWine asked for help, if I may. Hold on. Whoops. when they heard I was coming, they decided to, on February 16th, 4 days ago, by the way, when miraculously J.D. Vance came, because as their representative in the federal government, that's part and parcel to his fucking job as a senator. They, you know, I'm pretty sure that senators have at least a baseline, like, duties that are amongst the things they're sworn to do. We'll see. Might have to do with their ability to get FEMA stuff or how quickly. Yeah, there we go. Thursday morning. There you go. According to the governor's office, DeWine asked for assistance from multiple agencies, including the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, the Health and Emergency Response Team. The governor also sent a letter to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention requesting they immediately send medical experts to East Palestine to assist members of the community who have questions or experiencing symptoms. DeWine says he's been in daily contact with FEMA, an agency that helps rebuild and improve communities, but says he's been told Ohio is not eligible for assistance right now. The governor says he will continue working with FEMA to see what assistance can be provided to East Palestine. Fox 19 reached out to FEMA for a response to the governor's comments, and we'll update the story when they receive a reply on Thursday. There you go. There it is. Ohio Environmental Protection Agency. Yeah, that's, you guys handle that until you run out of funds or you can't do it yourself. Then you can call FEMA, because you get money allocated, and it's the same fucking stuff. There's what they say. I don't know where the update was. Department of Agriculture is working to determine cause of death of 6-week-old beef calf that died on February 11th in an area located about 2 miles away from East Palestine. Continues to assure Ohioans that the food supply is safe and risk to livestock remains low. Has not received any additional reports of dead wildlife as of Thursday afternoon. Total number of aquatic animals killed is approximately 3,500. Most of the deaths are believed to have been caused by the immediate release of contaminants into the water prior to mitigation efforts. Yeah, so basically right before they blew the train up, it was leaking into the water, and they were like, yeah, we should set fire to this shit.
Mayor and I would discuss.
By the way, the video you're seeing of the dead fish, check the date.
That it was quite amazing what happened, and they said,
yeah, but how about fucking speak up? God damn, is it just me, or is this son of a bitch like super fucking quiet?
Can't let this happen. That was a big change of pace. JD, did you ever see a change like that one? That was a quick, rapid change. But we can't let this happen, they said, and we'll be there. And we opened up the dam, and we got them to move, and they all came in, and they're now pouring you in with help. And I will tell you, I had a...
Yes, there is no dam in the area. He didn't come down and open up a dam. He did not pull his fingers out of the dike, per se, and they're not pouring you with help. They're not... I don't want anybody in East Palestine to think that they're getting dumped on with help. Great. I'm going to be like a
great relationship with FEMA. I found FEMA to be incredible, amazing in every way. And we had tremendous luck with the tornadoes and all of the hurricanes and everything else that we had, and they were fantastic. And
yeah, they were great. It turns out you can't redirect a hurricane with a Sharpie, luckily.
Fantastic here. They could have been 2 weeks earlier, or at least a week earlier, but they decided to do it this way, and I guess it came from the top. And so we have to understand that. You know, it reminds me...
Yeah, we got to understand that it came from the top of the thing of the... Which top are we talking about? The top of the state, or the top of the federal government, or the top of FEMA, or never mind. The dam is broken, and people are being flooded with bottled water and Skittles.
A little bit. I don't know if you remember when Ohio State wasn't going to be playing football for another season. They were going to sit back and watch with the China virus or COVID, whatever you want to call it. And I called the head of the Big Ten football. I said, you got to get this football open. And they were great. They responded, and Ohio State played that season. Nobody remembers that, I think, right? Does anybody know? You got at least one. You could be close, but by now you still would be close probably. But we got that open very early. And you had a great season of football.
Yeah, that's not a good thing. That led to unnecessary contagion and death in the area.
to put it mildly. So that was a very great.
So, you know, even if your water is poison and your house is coated in dioxin, you can still think about that time that I forced you guys to play football in shark-infested waters so that I wouldn't look like an asshole too late.
Honor the Big Ten, and that led to the NFL, and it led to most of the rest of football in the country. But you led it through Ohio State and Big Ten, and we got that done. I did that very personally. I called the commissioner, and he did a good job.
So yeah, by the way, in East Palestine, if you're having any skin irritation, difficulty breathing, just think about the fact that he called the head of the Big Ten football people and then the NFL and said, "You guys should play games. I look like shit."
What this community,
maybe it's like a salve. It's like the salve of positivity.
Community needs now are not excuses and all of the other things you've been hearing, but answers and results, and that's what I think you're going to say. Norfolk Southern needs to fulfill its responsibilities and obligations, and I see that they're starting to come here now too, because they also were saying,
"Hey, asshole, they were first on the scene. It was their train. Norfolk's been at the accident site from the moment it happened. Arguably, depending on the length of the train, before. Yeah."
They're not coming, but it means that the affected communities beyond the borders of East Palestine are
Palestine, Emperor Palpatine. Yeah, just call it Stein, whatever you want.
Be taken care of, and they've said so, and they've said it loud and clear, and I think they probably mean it. I sincerely hope.
I've talked to President Xi. They're handling COVID very well, and I don't imagine why it would be Russia. And also, if anybody knows how to clean this mess up, it's the people that made it. So the people of I would trust them. I wouldn't eat if they made you a fish delight right now. I wouldn't eat it. I would, unless it was frozen and flown in from someplace else.
When your representatives and all of the politicians get here, including Biden, they get back from touring Ukraine, that he's got some money left over, because we're now at $117 billion, and as you probably know, Europe, when you add it all up, is at about $10 billion. That's a big difference, wouldn't you say? That's one of the things that gets me.
Yeah, hey, asshole, nobody cares there. You're actually at the site of where some shit went down. Go to Marjorie Taylor Greene's district and clamor on about where the fuck's our money. These people want their help, and they're getting it.
They're very good negotiators, those people in Europe. You know, when you add it all up, it's about the same size as the United States, the economy of the different European countries, and they're at a very small number compared to us. So you'll start working on that, I guess, when you get back. I think JD will have that well, and he's listened. He heard that number, but it's a massive difference. It's a very small fraction of what we put up, and it affects that.
That's because it includes Lend-Lease. They got to pay us back. Good Lord.
More than us, and they have to do what they have to do.
Well said. Well said. They have to do, I mean, hey, you got to do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. That's the way it is. That's the way it goes.
But we're going to find time to come back if necessary. If they don't come back and give you the treatment that you need, we will be back. The Biden administration should ensure that every family has the option of moving and homes and everything else until this thing is straightened out.
Has the option of moving and homes and everything else until this is straightened out. I had no idea we were going to get such a detailed plan. I'm sorry. I would have been taking notes from the beginning. I mean, this is... I don't know if this guy's ever thought of running for president, but I would consider it. With that kind of keen intellect and understanding of the circumstance and the issues themselves, this guy knows FEMA better than the emergencies do.
I want to especially thank some of the incredible people that helped us because we're bringing thousands of bottles of water, Trump water, actually.
Thousands of bottle of water. It's a big bottle.
Of it. Some of it we had to go to a much lesser quality water. You want to get those Trump bottles, I think, more than anybody else. But we're bringing a lot of water, thousands of bottles, and we have it in trucks, and we brought some on my plane today. But to that end, I'm pleased.
Some. And by the way, this is all stuff that's been coordinated by Vance and the state and whatever the fuck. And Trump, like, put a few bottles of that on the plane, and then we'll pretend it. We'll have Don unload them. It'll be great. We'll get some great shots.
To announce that we've helped coordinate the delivery of the water and bottled water as well as the tractor trailers full of it. We have big tractor trailers full of water. I think you're going to have plenty of water.
Oh, by the way, tractor trailers full of water, which is, by the way, he means trucks, like big trucks came. He said tractor trailers coming up there. Literally, hold on one second. Let me see if I can find this. The Trump fans are... Shit, let me find it in here. Let's see. A bunch of them, blue check Trump fans, said that... We'll see it there. Hold on. Latest. Yeah, there you go. Black Russian is saying this. Trump water, thousands of gallons of water, cleaning supplies, tractors. Thousands of gallons of water, cleaning supplies, tractors. By the way, you think there's a lot of cut and paste? See, we got a dozen about damage, but I have a new pack of tractors. Top Trump. Okay, sorry. Somebody else writing there. Okay. Much less than 4 regulars, 11, 2 tractors, everything you need paid in full to reach. Okay, sorry, wrong one. Trump said I was going to be bigger tractors. Biden Miller tractor. Oh, I think Kevin means traders, not tractors. But okay. Let's see. Yep, it's just at the top of it. Okay, so the top one of this. Hold on, let me see if I can find the other ones. Right. Trump tonight said 11,000 boats at a MAGA boat parade in Florida and thousands of tractors at a parade in Iowa. Okay, that's different. Yeah, everybody's running that same tractors. Trump. I know a lot about tractors. So, yeah. Yep. We have tractors, we have sprayers, we have semis, we have Humvees, we have military jeeps. Okay, that's different. Yeah, that's just from the Trump Tractors Parade. Anyways, a couple of these sites were saying that he brought tractors because he said tractor trailers full of water. That's what happens when your Russian bot brigade doesn't understand tractor trailer versus tractor.
Long time, maybe. And I want to thank those of you that helped John Rourke, who's fantastic, Blue Line Moving. Is John here? Hello.
Yeah, John donated the tractor trailers. We'll get to the part that Trump paid for eventually, won't we?
John, good job. Got a lot of
good job.
Trucks coming up with water, right?
That's right. Yeah, that dude gassed up his fucking trucks and brought in the water. Okay.
That's true. You're a fantastic guy. Friend of
I can barely see you because I can only see your neck because you're like a bush.
my son, Don, who's also here. Where's Don? Good job. Did you get him to do that? I think so, huh? Yeah, he does. He's fantastic. He helps. Thank you very much, John. Appreciate it. Two Fellas Moving Company, and I want to thank the people within the Trump organization that helped us with all of the water. We got it from all of our different hotels, all of our different places, and it was great. They really came together. Also, I want to thank...
and we'll be writing that off on our taxes, by the way. So, all right. Where's the nearest Trump property to East Palestine? So they basically just went and got old water, like storage water bottles, and trucked them up.
Thanks Andy Pensler and his son, Jonathan Pensler, from Cortex in Michigan for donating thousands of gallons of cleaning supplies. Thousands and thousands of gallons. Where are you guys?
Look at that. The Trump, that's what he's saying. Like, Trump, look at this. Trump, look at him get credit for this. Look, Trump, water, thousands of gallons of water, cleaning supplies donated by somebody else and driven up there by somebody else.
Where are they?
I don't know. They're out there actually using the cleaning supplies, helping people. They should be in here grandstanding, don't we? Don't you guys know anything about? Well, it's fine. I'll take the credit.
Are they here? They're too.
I don't even know them. They're the ones who donated all the cleaning supplies that I'm getting credit for, and I couldn't pick them out of a fucking lineup. I know Purple Shirt Fat Mayor, and I know the guy in the camo because he's the only guy in camo, but I don't. Oh, you're right behind me. Oh, I see.
Busy putting it on the truck, but
they're busy putting it on the truck. Yes, they're doing shit for real.
But he get Cortex. If anybody knows the company, it's a very good company, big company, and they're giving tremendous amounts of cleaning supplies, which.
Yeah, they donated it. Yep, they haven't yet. I mean, I guess they were waiting for Trump to come up, and they're like, we'll only donate cleaning supplies if Trump comes up and thanks us personally. So he got up out of his not so easy chair, and he spit out the half-eaten fish delight in his mouth, squirted some ketchup down his pants, and got on a plane.
Is what you're going to need. And again, I want to thank Senator Vance, and I want to ask JD to come up and say a few words, and then Mayor Conaway and Marty Grimm will come up and finish it off. Thank you all very much for being here. It's a great honor. It's an honor to help, and you're well on your way. And that was a tragedy, close to an unbelievable tragedy.
Yes, but thank God it's a believable tragedy. Even when I saw it on the fake news, I believed it.
It's been really bad, and thank goodness that didn't happen. But you
what?
Done an interview with me. He did very well with the ratings.
Hold on. Back the fuck up.
Believable tragedy. And
listen to this again. This is for all the Biden can't speak and I like a president that can complete a sentence and that has a clear understanding of the issues and the circumstances around him and is solution oriented because he's a businessman. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Gobbledygook. Chapter 75.
It was a tragedy, close to an unbelievable tragedy. Could have been really bad, and thank goodness that didn't happen. But you're going to have tremendous help now, and I know FEMA will do the job like nobody can do it like them. Thank you all very much. Thank you.
Nobody does it better. It was a tragedy, but almost an unbelievable tragedy. And thank God it's a believable tragedy, and nothing bad happened. And I got to get the fuck out of here. Bye. JD, you want to come up and say something? JD, it's gonna be hard. Yeah, look at the look on his face. How do I not top that so I don't get in deep shit? How do I speak? How can anyone speak dumber than that? Because if I speak clearly, they're going to get mad at me for trying to dunk on Trump. I'm so screwed.
Well, first, President Trump, thanks so much for coming and shining a light on this community. I think the most...
Because the news has been ignoring it for 19 days.
important thing that we can take from this visit is that we can't forget about the people of East Palestine, because they're...
Yeah, it just happened, dummy. You don't get points for remembering. You're not in charge of setting up a Remember East Palestine, Never Forget fucking monument at the edge of town. Calm the fuck down. They forgot about it. Like, what do you mean? Like all the cities affected by school shootings that you blew off, or let Trump's tangential friends like Alex Jones take a shit on for years?
There will be a rebuilding effort. We need to finish the cleanup effort. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, that's why the guy donated the cleaning supplies and Trump took credit for it earlier. Yeah.
But most of all, we need to make sure that over the next 6 months, over the next year, over the next 2 years, that we don't forget the people of East Palestine.
Yeah, you mean during the rest of your term?
Been affected by this tragedy. You coming up here ensures that we do exactly that. So thank
No, it doesn't. If he comes back, to say this again in 3 years. I think I've mentioned this before, but I had a friend who went to, I believe it was EST, one of those like self-help weekends. And it was like 3 days, really intense, try to, rebuild your life and all that kind of stuff, which is cool. I'm for it. But he came back on Monday and I said, how was it? And he said, it changed my life. And I said, how do you know? I would go live some life and then go, oh shit, that changed my life. I kept doing it. That's like saying on January 2nd, how's your New Year's resolutions? My New Year's resolutions have changed my 24 hours. Thank you for not letting us forget the people of East Palestine like we had for the 2 weeks prior to me coming down here. And you won't remember the mayor's name by the time you get on the fucking plane. You'll just go purple shirt fat guy.
you, sir. It's great to have you. Don, it's great to have you. I just want to
Have you here, I think. Well, I guess it's great to have them anywhere if they'll just hold still and be had, right, JD?
say that, I'm from Southern Ohio, and I've got to know this community very well over the last couple of weeks. It's such an honor to be here, and it's such an honor to get to know so many great people. The mayor, the fire chief have done such an incredible job. Senator Ruley, everybody has come together, Congressman Johnson, to make sure that East Palestine is at the top of everybody's priorities. So thank you for having me. Thank you for letting me play some small role in making sure this community survives and thrives. God bless you all. I love you.
That was good. You said the God bless you thing. That was good. People like that when you say God bless you, even if you don't mean it. It's so weird. Oh, where'd you go? I was going to introduce you again, but go ahead. Why don't you just, Mayor, what's his name? Go ahead. Can't miss you.
We as a community would like to thank President Trump for coming up here, shedding some light on the situation we are currently in. I also have to thank all the elected officials, all the firemen. The firemen saved this city. If it wasn't from them, that might sound like rhetoric, but it really is not. This could have been
Well, it was a fire.
a very different situation if we wouldn't have such quality firemen behind us.
Yes. Is that a possibility? Did you used to have shit firemen? By the way, it was a controlled demolition with the governor giving the go-ahead for it. So I'm going to guess they had a bunch of support. Not taking anything away from the firemen that are there. It's shitty they had to even be in that position in the first place.
We're a small community. We don't want the media attention. We just, we want our community to go back to the way it was. That is our end goal. We appreciate
The way it was before what? Before the train, I hope.
you being here, but
Not before Trump arrived or before FEMA or after the demolition, but before the fish started to be able to not die again.
at some point we'd ask you to leave. But yes, I thank everybody.
Look at Trump.
Who has helped us through this tragic situation. It's been a very difficult situation, but together we will make EP strong again. So thank you all.
Hashtag EP strong.
Well, thanks everybody for coming out. And as I've said from the outset here, this is the kind of tragedy that should never come.
By the way, Fox, excellent camera work. I originally I thought lining up with the stem of the mic on that they had on there and that they had set far too high was a mistake. No, genius, absolutely. The dude looks like he's wearing a black monocle with a giant slap of licorice hanging off of it in his eye, and he's some sort of weird licorice supervillain right now.
I'm on a rural community like this. It's
I am Captain Licorice. Hear me, hear me. If you guys don't give me that woman, I will crash another train into the town. Ah, ah, ah. All your water will taste like anise.
Extremely unfortunate, but I have stood and watched and participated as this community has come together. I'm convinced that recovery is on the way. I believe this community is not only going to recover, but they're going to be stronger than they were when they started. And it's because of the people here.
And the federal aid assistance. And the money from the Norfolk lawsuits. I think there's going to be a few rich people in town. I'm just saying. Whether they end up suing after they get sick or not, they're going to say, I got to move. My house isn't worth shit. You owe me money. And they're probably going to get a settlement that could buy them another house in East Palestine. Yeah.
It's because of the mayor. It's because of the fire chief. It's because of the determination and perseverance of the people right here in East Palestine.
And the fish.
So thank you, Mr. President, for coming and continuing to put focus on this.
Well, it was real easy because there were no dead people, wounded people, or sick people. Homie, don't fuck with that. I have a thing. It's gross. When I was at Walter Reed, they had to move everybody out because if I get a whiff of someone's injury, I get a chill down my spine that makes me dookie down my trouser leg. No way.
God bless you.
Luckily, it was just a big fire, and I loved watching them on TV, and all the dead fish were gone by the time I looked at the water and pointed at it, so... Mm-hmm. Thank you. No, thank you.
Thank you, President Trump, for coming to our village today and drawing attention to this disaster recovery.
Okay, better than this disastrous recovery, I guess.
My name is Marty Grimm, and I
Hi, Marty.
serve as president of the East Palestine Community Foundation. I am here today to speak on how to best financially assist our community and surrounding area.
If any of you, by any chance, know a billionaire personally, one that brags about it all the time, one that is always saying he's got more money than he knows what to do with, that he wastes on frivolous architectural endeavors like golf courses, or if anybody leaps to mind, think about it. It might take you a couple of days, but if anyone knows a billionaire who can do more than give away water already purchased for his golf courses that were actually paid for by the Saudi government, that were just left over, and they were sitting in the sun, so the plasticizing agents have already leaked into the water that may cause future fertility issues. If you know a billionaire, if anybody knows Mark Cuban, like a real billionaire, you're off the hook. A real billionaire.
Elaine Beck is the founder of the nonprofit.
He's standing there like, if she asks me for a fucking check, I'm going to make Don drink the river water.
Blessing Through Action, and calls Ohio her home. She herself was raised here and raised her family in this great state. Elaine felt compelled to help her fellow Ohioans in their desperate time of need.
I'm
Blessing
bored.
Through Action has partnered with the East Palestine community.
Hold on. Fox is moving in on her because Trump, he's confused, but Trump's starting to fall asleep. Watch this. Watch him.
Blessing Through Action has partnered with.
Hold on. I have to move this over so you can see it. There.
The East Palestine Community Foundation.
It's like, this is warm. I'm standing and I'm tired, and the building is very warm. And I'm not going to sleep. But I am going to just rest my eyes. It's like a sleep snack. It's like the Whitman sampler of sleep.
And local churches to bring financial assistance to this community.
Which we wouldn't need if anybody knew a fucking billionaire, because this whole fucking town, top to tail, costs about $1 billion maximum. Maximum. In 2075 dollars, it's $1 billion.
Blessings through action takes
Does this count as a campaign rally? You bet your ass, Joey. He's going to write this shit
no
off.
profits or costs from these donations. So every dollar will go to help the residents of East Palestine and the affected neighboring communities. If this was not enough, Elaine took her love and compassion for her home state to another level.
And she went swimming this morning. She burst into flames, but she was instantly, thank God, the fire was put out by the parasites crawling all over her skin that had morphed during their time in the toxic waste, and they breathed ice water onto it. She's now frozen.
Has offered a $100,000 matching donation for the next 24 hours.
So if anyone knows anyone with money who can match that donation, is he getting the hint? I don't think so.
If you too would
Literally, Don Jr. is over there going to his dad, and his dad's going,
like to be a part of this recovery and help rebuild this community we love, please text the word Ohio, OHIO, to the number 88022 for more information. That's text the word Ohio to the number 88022. Thank you very much.
That's so nice. That is so nice. I gave you all of our old water. What? You guys are leeches. Come on, you're standing there in the middle. Say something. You want to say something? I'm a man of the people.
All right. Why not? First of all, President Trump, thank you, for bringing.
I'd like to thank the Mustache Police for writing me this ticket. Okay.
This attention, getting the necessary resources here we need.
I will be giving mustache rides for 5 cents, and 3 cents out of every nickel will go to the Palestine relief fund that will try to make the city, ironically, smell less like fish.
I can't
Sorry.
thank.
I don't know what's wrong with me.
Not only my guys, my men and women who did such an amazing job, but also the neighboring departments that came in to help us, Pennsylvania, multiple counties in Ohio, one resource out of West Virginia. Together, we worked as a unified team to make this, to get this situation under control where we are, and I can't thank those first responders enough.
Dave was really fun. He got the giant barrel with the word Acme on the side of it. He shoved it under that train. Then he poured black powder in a big line back and forth. Then he lit a match and leaned over it, and his tail blew up. It was took 3 tries.
Columbiana County EMA
I had a beard when this started. Sorry.
was a crucial resource.
And by the way, I'm joking, of course, with the firemen and the first responders. I'm sure they're all good people and they did a great job. This is all just silliness in regard to them. Don't mix my actual criticism of Trump and JD Vance with these folks. They're fine. There's no problem with them.
Source to us.
Oh, thank you so much, DC2257. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. By the way, yeah, you guys can help the show, super chat, and like, subscribe, thumbs up. We're over 48K now. We're heading towards 50. Help us reach 50K. You can do it. You can do it.
Peggy Clark and Brian Rutledge, absolutely phenomenal people. I can't thank them enough for their help throughout this. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Not saying anything. Thank you. If I walk back up to the podium, they're gonna ask me to match those funds. Thank you. Cortex gave us cleaning supplies. That guy moved them in. The water's from the Saudis. Thank you. Have fun, everybody. Have fun. Ew, don't do that. This is, they don't need to recreate the train wreck. Jesus. That was just mean. The ever-loving shit. Don't get weirded out. I shake everybody's hand beta style. It's a thing. Who does that? Like, it's like he's ready to kiss anyone's ring. Is it just years of hanging out with Putin? He just automatically goes, "Mwah, I have to do this with everybody? Anybody who's even my height? No, do I have to lick your knuckles?" He makes me lick his knuckles. I don't have to do that, do I? Good job. Good job. Good job. Thanks. Thank you, guys. Good job. Good job. You did a good job. I'm going to go get on my private plane paid for with campaign funds and fuck off. Thank you. Young men. There's a... All right. Yeah, no music. He's can't walk off to YMCA. It'd be inappropriate, I think. You're watching HAL Sparks Mega Worldwide, and I think that shows taste and breeding on your part. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Give a thumbs up. Support the show. Patreon.com/HAL Sparks. Super Chats, bits, and, of course, on Facebook, you can send stars. My God, it's full of stars. Yeah, and if you can't afford to do any of those things, what you can do for me is enjoy the show. Just relax. Breathe deep. If you're on your device right now, if you're watching this on a device, you know, the kids today, they watch it on their devices. You ever see anybody sitting like this on their fucking phone? And they're like, I wonder why the internet is full of so much anger and hate. Instead, it's because your diaphragm is fucking compressed and you're breathing panic breaths in the top of your upper chest. When you're in danger, all of your oxygen exchange happens up here because you got to be able to you need quick, dirty energy, fat, so you can run away and fight and freak out and all that kind of shit. If you're relaxed, you breathe into your gut. Well, interestingly enough, most people who sit on their fucking devices all the time are compressing their diaphragm, and they can only breathe into the top of their chest. And no wonder they react to everything in a more anxious and uncomfortable way. So this is me, your pseudo-internet dad, telling you to sit up straight, motherfucker, and breathe deep. It'll make you feel better. And remind other people. Stick your chest out. I almost had a line from Trading Places, but... 48 Hours, actually, is the movie that I almost said. I got my brash Eddie Murphy characters mixed up for one split second. I got rent money for one night. Never mind. You can fill in the rest. Yeah, so sternums up, people. That's right. Stick your chest out. Be proud. Enjoy yourself. And breathe deep. Breathe into your gut. Come on. Into your diaphragm. And you're going to need it. Because I don't even know. I think I have PTSD from just the key. I don't even know if it's a fucking thumbnail. The image on this next one. Brace yourself. Brace yourself. Good Lord. What is this? What is this? Newsmax. What is happening? Now, you thought Trump was the only person who gave a goddamn about East Palestine. You're wrong. George Santos and Harriet Hageman. She's on John Bachman's show because he drew the shortest straw. And by God, she's going to give us what for. On Wednesdays, John Bachman now, Rep. Harriet Hageman comments on the EPA ordering Norfolk Southern to cover cleanup costs in East Palestine, Ohio. Yeah, why would they do that to this poor company? Why don't they? No, let the taxpayers do it. It's our accident if you really think about it. We're the ones who ignored the warning that the axle was on fire. We're the one that had this shitty braking system from 1871. It's you know what? Our bad. Okay, so let's see.
Let's also welcome in now Congresswoman Harriet Hagman. She's a member of the House Judiciary Committee, also on the Natural Resource.
You cannot tell me that is not George Santos. I don't buy it. I think he's filling in for her. I have never seen them in the same room. I don't believe it. But at least say what you will, but at least the camera quality is good.
This is committee. Great to see you, Congresswoman. Thanks for
Is it though?
being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, it's Politico now reporting that Pete Buttigieg will be in East Palestine, Ohio tomorrow. That's the schedule. It's interesting. This comes on the heels of President Trump's visit. I know you've already endorsed President Trump for 2024. Is this?
Yeah, and she's pissed too, because if she did, and now she'd have to back out to endorse Nikki Haley, and then back out of Nikki Haley to endorse DeSantis. It's just complicated. You got to hold off.
Why? Because he's always seemingly proactive, while so many politicians like Pete Buttigieg are reactive.
Okay, first of all, in his capacity as a member of the cabinet, he is not a politician. He's a cabinet member. He directs the groups, the coordinating groups around things like this, including the NTSB and DOT, who have been on site since the very fucking beginning. He's not in charge of FEMA. That's not his gig. Also, it's been 19 days before Trump showed up, and he did it as a campaign drop. So calm the fuck down. You act like he parachuted in and pissed out the fire himself.
Well, it's one of the reasons why I've endorsed him. But in response to what's going on with both the EPA and Pete Buttigieg, what this tells you and what this shows you is the failure of these federal agencies to actually do their job. They're focused on.
They're already there doing it. Just for the record. They've been there since the beginning. FEMA's not there because you have to declare a federal emergency. You have to request it as a state. Because the states, especially the Republican ones, want the federal government to stay out of their fucking business. And they've said so for a very long time. Now, apparently, not so much. But their entire existence prior, they've been like, we'll tell you if we need help. And DeWine didn't ask for help until 4 days ago.
And so many other things that they're not focused on the things that they were actually created for. I have been fighting against
such as
the EPA for decades as they've sought to take over things like irrigation ditches, claiming that they're navigable waters of the United States so that they can assert more authority over private property. And then when you actually...
Oh, that's an individual case from a while back or whatever, where this dude that has this like trickle stream that, maybe once every couple of years, full-on floods, is a navigable waterway. And then most of the time, though, it's a trickle stream. And he wants to claim it as just a grazing pond or whatever for his livestock. And they're like, no, because every couple of years, it turns into a fucking raging river. And if your animals get washed away, you're going to sue the U.S. government and you can't do it. So, no.
Have an environmental disaster.
But I understand. Most of you obviously are aware of the epidemic of the EPA claiming that every rain puddle is a navigable waterway so that they can take over the streets of America.
This is their reaction to it. They don't know how to react because they're no longer carrying out the duties for which they were created. They're becoming dictators and despots to take away private property rights.
Yeah, that's which is why they rolled into East Palestine and went, shit, this is ours now. Okay, everybody out. Didn't you see Outbreak with Dennis Hoffman? I mean, Dennis Hoffman, Dustin Hoffman. What Dennis Hoff and Dennis? I ran those together. I've been in Vegas for too long. Dustin Hoffman, the movie with the monkey and the cure and the thing, and then they're gonna dust the town and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Don't you stage these things just so you can take the whole town? Everything's poisonous. It's like Close Encounters of the Third Kind. You just drop dead animals everywhere, and everybody's like, oh my God, I should probably leave. And then you, of course, land unidentified flying objects in the town. Has anybody been watching the skies over East Palestine? By the way, have you guys seen the Japanese egg on the beach? The Godzilla egg? Hold on. This is super weird. I'm just saying. There's no relation between Fukushima Daiichi and this. A 1.5 meter sphere appeared on Tuesday at Enshuhama Beach in Hamamatsu, Japan. Police surrounded the area and cordoned off the perimeter of 200 meters till the type of metallic material was identified. The country's self-defense forces were called in. I'm going with Godzilla egg. That's my theory. Look at this. Okay, you kick it. No, you kick it. No, you kick it. It's a giant soccer ball. It's obviously like an anchor weight. A mysterious metal sphere. Yeah, mysterious metal sphere with a fucking latch on the top of it. He's a soccer ball. Its origins are unknown. It is clearly a Godzilla egg. This mysterious sphere that is not quite so mysterious. The question is how it got there. It rolled up and why it has soccer ball lines on it. I'm just saying. I love these guys. No, you kick it. No, you kick it. No, you. No, you kick it. You're on kick it, dude. I kicked the last thing and my foot still hurts. So, yeah. Mysterious spheres, train derailments.
Congresswoman, I'd like to get your reaction.
The end times are upon us.
Action to some comments from EPA Administrator Michael Regan. He was back in East Palestine again yesterday. He is vowing that the agency will remain there until residents feel safe. That is what he's saying. He's also saying...
Wait, stay there? You mean they've been there this whole time? That's weird.
That the EPA is ordering Norfolk Southern, the train operator, to pay for the cleanup. Here's part of his exchange.
But let me also be crystal clear. Norfolk Southern will pay for cleaning up the mess that they created and the trauma that they inflicted on this community and impacted Beaver County residents.
By the way, there's the mayor over there. He's not wearing his purple shirt, so to Trump he wouldn't be as memorable. There's the other guy that was talking with Trump, and there's DeWine right next to him. That's interesting. DeWine shows up at this EPA thing, but he's not there when Trump's in town.
Some may say that's all well and good, but those are words, those are promises. There are people who have rashes. They're seeing dead animals in the creeks, and a medical clinic was just opened yesterday. What's your response to his comments yesterday?
Well, clearly they should close down they should close it down, the medical facility, because they're probably going to vaccinate everyone. That's for sure.
And the distrust that remains among the people in Ohio.
Well, it depends on what that distrust is based on. Is it based on news programs like this, or the reality on the ground, or the idea that they trust Norfolk more than they trust the government, but they don't trust the government to get Norfolk to pay?
Well, again, I'm going to go back to what I said a moment ago.
I only have one thing to say.
This is just...
I'm only on for 5 minutes, but I have one thing.
It's an example of the incompetence of these ginormous organizations, these...
by the way, Christina, thank you so much for the super chat, and Brad as well. And Christina says, I breathe deep and spit my drink out my nose every time you say the kidney.
These incredibly large...
The kidney.
Agencies that were created for a good...
The kidney.
Purpose 50 years
I'm not even giving you time to take a sip, am I?
Ago, but have become so over-bureaucratized and so politicized that they're not actually able to address the things that they were created to address.
Hey, fuckstick. Oh, my God. They're there in town addressing the exact thing they are designed to deal with. That's why they're there. That's what they are doing. Don't talk about them not doing their job while we're watching video of them doing their job. The other thing is this, I mean, again, it's this whole like, I'm from the government and I'm here to help, has literally just like erased the work that these agencies actually do every fucking time that all these people take for granted. One of the reasons why you support and celebrate the fact that FEMA and and the EPA and stuff make it so that the water you drink is not lead lined all the time, and it is not killing people in mass, and it's not, we're not rotating through toxic poisoning on the regular, and because the EPA is doing its work and it works with state EPAs, and there's a balancing act there, and they can't rush right in. If they could, you'd probably have cleaner water, but states' rights, all that shit. The fact that everybody just takes that shit for granted, just like they do the yellow lines in the fucking road. I know I use this analogy a lot, but it's exactly what's happening here. Every day you drive, you trust all of humanity. I don't want to hear any shit from anybody about Americans are stupid or, the other side of people are fucking idiots and nobody knows how to do anything and incompetent, blah, blah, all these generalized bullshit complaints about your fellow human beings when you get in your fucking car on the regular and drive down a road at 50 miles an hour going this direction while strangers from God knows where, going God knows where, from God knows where, drinking God knows what before and during their ride, are going the opposite direction at 50 miles an hour and manage most of the time, statistically, an incredible amount of time, manage to stay on their side of a fucking yellow line. And I don't fault you for not thinking about it all the time, because if you did, you'd be fucking terrified and you'd never drive anywhere. Because you go like, Jesus Christ, the world is full of assholes. But don't bullshit me that you don't take that for granted all the time. You always take for granted that people are going to stay on their side of the road. You keep an eye out, but you don't go, Jesus, 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 Jesus. Some of you do. I've been in cars with some of you like that, but most people don't. Same thing is true of the EPA. Same thing is true of like food safety rules in the United States. All this shit you just kind of, when we do have an outbreak, there's E. coli or something, like, oh my God, there's E. coli. You know why there's E. coli? It's because when a bunch of people die, or a couple of people die from something, a bunch of people don't, because they find the source relatively quickly. They swab the fuck out of every possible place those two people who passed away have eaten, and they shut it down, and we don't have romaine lettuce for fucking 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and everybody like throws it in the garbage to stay safe. And you go, oh my God, we have a terrible situation. The food is poisonous in this country because of that situation. Instead of all the time you're just munching on romaine lettuce nonstop the rest of the fucking, 5 years in between those instances where you don't even think about it at all. And again, part of this comes from my travels in China and what we were talking about when the guys from the China show, Winston and Matt, came on. In China, they had fake vaccines and fake baby formula. Babies died because people were like putting fucking sawdust and other shit in baby formula to pad it out so they could sell a bigger bag. And it happened all the time. Like on the regular, it happens. Because nobody gives a fuck. Nobody checks twice. And yet here we are. The EPA doesn't do anything. They've been there since day one. NTSB, day one. HHS, been there since day one. Department of Transportation, day one. Most of them, by the way, are operating closer to like the affected area in Pennsylvania nearby, because Shapiro was like, get in here. But DeWine's been dragging his nuts all across the foreheads of everybody in East Palestine. We don't need any help. We're fine. We're fine. No. Nothing to see here, folks. No. I don't want to be here when they cut that train open and the little McKittrick boy spills out all over the dock.
Yes. So in many ways, it's too little too late?
No, it isn't. In many ways, it's not. It is not too little too late. There is a period where we're going to have a national conversation about jargon and colloquialisms being used in lieu of actual reality.
For him to be coming in now and talking about this, as you indicated, it's 19 days since the accident happened. Where has the federal government been?
They've been on site. By the way, to the limits of their ability, and they've been coordinating with the state. DeWine literally was like, Biden called and said we can have anything we needed, and I didn't call him back.
We've got a president that's looking at preserving the borders of Ukraine, but
what about our borders? What about the borders between toxins and purity in East Palestine?
it hasn't gone to Ohio. You've got an EPA that seems to be floundering. You've got a head of a Department of Transportation where almost every single thing that's under his jurisdiction seems to be collapsing. You've got the problems with the airlines. You've got the problems with air travel. You've got the...
Do we have problems with airlines and air travel, guys, right now? Do we have a problem with those things? Is there currently a problem with air travel that anyone's aware of at all? Or was there a particularly egregious, I can say that with a big tongue like mine, particularly egregious snowstorm that fucked with things for a few days, and Southwest system went down at the same time, and now they're overhauling their entire system? I'm kidding. There's no planes in the air right now. We're back to covered wagons. Thanks, Pete.
Problems with the trains. You've got the issues with the...
By the way, 1,700, somewhere in the order of like 1,600 to 1,700 train derailments a year, on average. You only hear about the toxic ones. And some of them are minor, like one car falls off and it takes a big deal to get it back up on the tracks, and they fix it and hammer the fucking rail back into place.
The railroad employees who are not being treated well. You've got problems with...
Wait, the railroad employees aren't being treated well? What do you mean? The ones that ignored the 2 signals that said your axle's on fire?
With us not being able to get trains in the state of Wyoming for purposes of transporting our coal and other products.
And
you can't get trains in Wyoming to transport coal and other products. Let's see, where's the... Let me just try to find a... let's see. In Wyoming, you got the Bighorn Divide and Wyoming Railroad, BNSF Railway Company, Rapid City Pierre and Eastern Railroad, Swan Ranch Railroad, Union Pacific Railroad, Wyoming Operation Lifesaver. That's nice. They got a little, like, ambulance train. Ambulance train, oh yeah. Maps of the world is a Wyoming rail map coming on down the line. Gonna feel that tingin' in the home, hanging in a do-gigga-diggy-doo. There's a train coming down the tracks, and I wonder if it's gonna take me back to a land where my girl is living in the old Wyoming way. And I just don't worry, the things they only have their priorities are all whack, and they just worry about a month that's gay. Hey, Wyoming on the train. Sorry. Open up, blank page. Hurry up. Train lines, can't get them. Nope. Amtrak stations in Wyoming. Nope. No trains. None. There's no trains there. Amtrak routes with sleeper cars. Let's see. Look at that. Isn't that sweet? See, that's what I was talking about, guys. I don't want to go to Wyoming, but I mean, I will eventually. I'm not against Wyoming per se, as long as she's in DC when I'm there. But I'm gonna take that California Zephyr down the tracks. Look at that. Get one of these things and go all the way. Look at this. Capital Limited travels between Washington, D.C. and Chicago. You can hop on that motherfucker. The auto train goes between Virginia and Florida. California Zephyr goes to Northern California, down to Chicago by the Rocky Mountain Way. I don't know why this is going to be. I'm going to be doing this all fucking night. I'm going to have like I am a man of constant sorrow. I've seen trouble all my days. Jesus Christ. I'm fine. The kidney.
Pete Buttigieg acting like he can't be bothered with
Pete Buttigieg
with a simple conversation when he's MIA. A lot of times, it's not the first time, too. We've had questions about his response to some of these things.
Have you? You've had questions, have you? And what were the answers? Software problems on behalf of Southwest Airlines that they ended up fixing and they no longer have? But I'm fucking with you. United, American Airlines, Delta, they all collapsed. What airplanes? Americans can only fly if they can flap fast enough.
As we wrap up here, Congresswoman, I want to ask you.
Yeah, this is really interesting, but we're running out of time. Not really, but we're going to go to commercial early because you're creeping me out.
Too, about big tech and the plans to hold.
By the way, if this is John Bachman now, who's she? Is Newsmax legally obligated to have a blonde on set at all times? Is that just to balance the frame?
Them accountable, the efforts.
Oh, accountable. Hold them accountable. Holding people accountable. Accountability.
You guys are working on the Judiciary Committee. Yesterday, we had your colleague Ken Buck on with us talking about how these companies have taken advantage of immunity under this Section 230.
Yes. You mean the train companies? Yes. The Section 230 makes a train go down the line. Yeah, this is... Look at this transition. Enjoy this transition, if you will. Because these assholes, by the way, are... They're going to dovetail this into, can you believe Newsmax got kicked off of DirecTV by AT&T? They're bitching to everybody about this. Everybody who sits down, they get a mouthful. Or they get an earful about this. Maybe a mouthful, too. I don't know. It's nasty over there. The transition from a chemical spill with an explosion that is in need of physical cleanup, and they're going to shift over to... have you seen the Twitter files? Oh my God. Like, they won't even let you show, like, non-consensual dick pics. This is, where have our freedoms gone? The founding fathers, especially Ben Franklin, would have wanted non-consensual dick pics.
The Communications Decency Act of 1996. Take a listen to Ken Buck here.
So Congress wanted to make sure that these tech companies could take down child porn or recruiting terrorists or other dangerous, selling drugs, other dangerous material.
But we don't want that anymore, because how's Truth Social going to stay afloat?
From the internet. Now, these tech companies have gone further, and they've taken down speech of individuals that they don't like. They disagree with their opinion.
Well, their opinion that people should be murdered at a particular time in a particular way. Or the opinion of people who are like, I don't know, in my opinion, I should be able to post non-consensual nudes of strangers who I don't, why not? Dunk onto your screen. Hey, why not just stabbings? Why don't I just collect videos of stabbings and put them online? Because in my opinion, that's something people need to see. They need to know about the big stab.
Now, Congressman, we have this Supreme Court case going on. Ken Buck admitted yesterday the court should not be weighing in on this stuff. It's really Congress's job to do so. Can you tell us about your plans to rein in big tech?
Yeah, how are you going to do it? Up there in Wyoming, the seat of big tech. We're big tech country. Sorry.
Well,
I'm going to be singing bluegrass all night long.
The Twitter files have demonstrated
the Twitter flies. It's a better descriptor.
That big tech has been conspiring with this administration and with the Democrats to try to suppress conservative speech.
No, it hasn't. That has not been the case at all. That is not what they show. Not even close. She might be stupid, but I'm fairly certain she's just lying.
I've said it over and over again.
Then she's lying.
The reason that they have to try to stop us from speaking is...
Wait, who's whispering? Someone's whispering in the background. Did you guys hear that? Listen, wait 1 second. Back up. Somebody's whispering to the other host.
Speech. I've said it over and over again. The reason that they have to try to stop us from speaking is because they're not able to actually debate the issues. I do think that it is Congress's job to step forward.
Yeah, I don't know what she ended up saying, but it was just like, I can't sit here anymore. If she's on camera, it's giving me the creeps.
We're going to fix this and make sure that these.
She's got crazy eyes. Honest to God. Like, it's like Psycho meets Glenn Close and as a Karen, but played by a man in drag with a butcher. It's scary. It's freaking me the fuck out.
Companies are not able to violate our First Amendment right to speak and to hear.
You don't have a First Amendment right to hear. You don't. That's weird. You have freedom of speech, but you can't force anyone to carry your speech for you anywhere else. You do not get to violate someone's ear holes with your bullshit, or in the case of social media, I suppose they're eye holes as well, if they don't want to see you, or if that company doesn't want to carry you. And the idea that any government official automatically gets to have an account and violate the terms of service, where the average citizen would get kicked off for doing the same thing, which happened multiple times with Bongino and Trump and all these assholes. They get to violate it multiple times because they're well-known conservatives, until they absolutely cross a fucking line by calling for violence at one point. And then even then, they get a slap on the wrist compared to other accounts that are just dumped forever. No one is responsible for your freedom of speech, especially not a private company. It's fucking dumb.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword. What they're
No, it isn't.
Promoting sometimes is questionable. Also, what they are suppressing, questionable as well. Congresswoman Harriet Hegman from the great state of Wyoming, thank you for your time.
Well, currently great. We'll see what she does with it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Congresswoman.
And sorry about whispering, but you're giving me the creepy eyes, and it freaked me the fuck out. It's a lot. It's a lot. Hi, you're watching HAL Sparks Mega Worldwide. Like, subscribe, give a thumbs up, support the show. Now, we end tonight, as we often do, with a clip that is relatively short. So we should be able to time out the show pretty close to what my original. This show was supposed to be 2 hours on the regular, and now it balloons because I have a lot to say, as many of you well know. That said, this one, you guys know. Maybe some of you are new, maybe you don't. 我会说中文. I speak Chinese, and我去了从北京很多，去了从中国很多. I've been to China and Beijing many times, and so I as a in some ways I guess a recovering Sinophiliac, someone who really loves Chinese culture, has my whole life. I'm very disappointed in what the CCP is doing to the country. It's heartbreaking and shitty, and is not reflective of the lovely people that I know there. And it's terrible that they live under something so awful. And not just awful, but inept. The CCP it only exists in its current form, and at all, I would argue, because the United States specifically, but some of the other Western countries have basically propped it up for 4 decades now, 5 decades now. Since their opening, and they're trying to normalize with the West, and they've been able to become what they called the factory of the world. Ever since that happened, the rest of the world has been basically throwing money, good money after bad, repeatedly at China, allowing them to blossom the way they have. And again, I have my issues with how they have done it. I think the standard by which they define someone as not being in poverty anymore is fucking stupid, because if you make $400 a year, you're impoverished. If you make 401, you're not. Magic. You just pass out $1 to everyone. We it cost us $300 million to solve poverty forever. Look at us. There you go. Just hand out $1 to every. All right. So I have my issues with Xi Jinping that go well beyond the fact that he's not smart. He is not at the top of his game. He's not on the A team of this. He is, much like Trump in many ways, a second generation throne rider. His father was, I believe, in Mao's inner circle. He's what they call a princeling. So he's one of 6 or 7 people that would work their way up. And in what's supposed to be a communist country where everybody's equal and there is no real hierarchy, the whole thing's run like a monarchy. Period. End of fucking story. The way the CCP functions is as a monarchy. It's basically a coronation that they're having at this point. And since he plans on being the forever emperor, and going forward, it's a distinction without a difference, if there is any distinction at all. Meanwhile, this second generation dickhead. Hi. Okay, excuse me 1 second. I've got to kiss my girlfriend, whose hair looks very pretty right now, because she went and had it done. New color, you guys. Yeah, it's a different color. It's one from before, which I like very much. Excuse me, I'll be right there. I'm not groping her either. I'm just kissing. It's just a normal kiss, and it's fine. Love you. Have fun. Tell her to not do your arms or something. Just walk up to her and go, okay, last time we did this, this, and this. What are we doing this time? And she'll go, oh, we're doing this. She'll swell. I guarantee she's going to get me. Yeah, I know her. All right. Anyways, hi. Trainer woes. Love you. Anyways, where was I? Hi. Oh, yeah. Second generation dickheads. That's where we were. So this dude, who's an heir to the Swanson TV dinner fortune and who's never had to work a day in his fucking life, except, I mean, that's not fair. Honestly, of course he has. Hiding, I guess, affairs from his wife, if you believe Matt Gaetz. That's work. It's got to be, right? So, the lip gloss. So let's see. This is, and by the way, the title of this, She is Laughing All the Way to the Bank. Christopher Miller. Yeah, let's tell us. Shall we, hold on. Before I even start this, do I dive in? I don't even bother. I'll look it up live.
Chris Miller is the former acting Secretary of Defense, the author of Soldier Secretary. He joins.
By the way, that's the guy who was put in after Trump lost to help basically secure January 6th. That's when he put in Kash Patel and all these fuckers. And remember when Maddow was going like, nobody changes those seats on their way out the fucking door. This is sketchy as shit.
Us tonight. Mr. Miller, thank you so much for coming on.
Hi.
Forging an alliance between Russia and China
is a terrible idea. Because they're both super powerful and smart. And their leaders that have tan balls.
Seems like the end of American power in a while.
Well, yeah, it would seem like that if you're a fucking moron.
A lot of the world and a massive new threat that dwarfs anything Putin has ever done in Ukraine. Why would they?
Okay, so thanks, man. So what you're saying is if China aligns with Russia, we should attack them full out. This is if what we're doing to defend Ukraine is just, comparatively a small element. And obviously, if they somehow team up with China, we should just nuke them, strafe bomb them, what?
They allow this to happen. Do they want this to happen? What's the thinking? Do you know?
Yes. The Biden administration wants China and Russia to team up. Because if you're trying to win a gold medal in swimming, 2 of the worst swimmers clinging to each other's ankles is a good thing.
Tucker, first, I have to go there. Vivek just announced that he's going to run for president. Did I hear that right in the last?
Yeah, president. Vivek's running for president.
I have to go there. Vivek just announced that he's going to run for president. Did I hear that right in the last segment?
No, he's running for president. It's a different, I don't know, maybe it's just a semantic difference.
He did, yes.
Yeah. As a Republican. That does, if you can tell from Tucker McWhitey's face, he doesn't like that idea.
That's just amazing. So I'm literally second fiddle. But, you know, he basically gave, I thought, a great foreign policy laydown for where we should be going forward on this. Your question, though, I got to tell you, you know, the president, I'm going to give him props for, you know, his speechwriters gave a pretty good speech. And, you know, I look forward.
Yeah, it's almost, you know, the speechwriters can give you a great speech, but if you don't mean it, people can tell.
Him coming back to the United States and going out to Palestine, Ohio, or going down on the border and saying this.
Yeah, why wouldn't he go there? Why would he, you know, because looking at it would go, oh, yeah, you know what? Shit, this looks terrible. I should probably send, Department of Transportation, NTSB, EPA, the Ohio Emergency Management Agency should get down here unless the governor he doesn't want federal help? Okay, so Ohio Emergency Management, those people should probably get down here. Oh, they have been down here. Since when? The same day. Ah. Well, I'm glad I came down here. Cool. Now, that border thing. Obviously, the wall sucks and it's made it worse or whatever, but we're catching a lot of fentanyl? Yes, we're catching a lot of it. And we think vast majority of it now? Yeah, we're catching. Okay, that's good. Now, I see this wall. It obviously is ugly and shitty, and you can climb it with a cardboard ladder. We're not going to electrify it, obviously. We're probably just going to have to hire more agents to deal with the people that come through here. Oh, we already did that? Okay, good. Shit, well. I guess we're going to need comprehensive immigration reform. So I'll go back to Washington, and I'll talk to the Republicans to go, hey, this is what we said. We need comprehensive immigration reform, and we'll just handle it. They don't want to do that. They don't? Why not? They've been down here, right? Though they've seen it. Oh yeah, they come down all the time. They come down here all the time. They're filming themselves here all the time, and none of them have come back with any actual plan. They say what? Secure the border? Did they say what that means? I mean, are we barbed wire? Are we razor wiring the whole fucking thing and electrifying it? Oil moat that we light on fire permanently like an Olympic torch? What do they mean secure the border? No shipments get through? Oh, of course not, because Texas would die if trucking from Mexico stopped for more than 3 days. So secure the border. So have agents at all the crossings? And have Customs and Border Patrol patrolling the thing? And then more drones and electronic surveillance in the places that are impassable or bad for people, so our agents don't have to stand out in the fucking desert and that. No more, none of that. No drones and infrared cameras. They want the Customs and Border Patrol to ride through nearly untraversable areas and over private property from the federal government with some sort of right-of-way pass instead of technology, so that those guys can what? Cook in the sun all the time? They do. They want the Customs and Border Patrol to cook in the sun. That's I don't know. I'm open to negotiation on a lot of things, but I don't think I want the Customs and Border Patrol to get skin cancer just because these assholes don't think drones work. So I'm gonna go with back to DC and try to push through that comprehensive immigration reform thing again. And we already hired more agents. They'll be here. Okay, thanks. Bye.
Same sort of things. That's irony, Tucker. You know that because I'm Generation X and I'm like a Letterman guy, right?
Yeah, I know what irony is because I used to watch Letterman, and so it like rubbed off.
So my point simply is,
really?
Is we spend $1 trillion a year on national defense. And my point from my book is, holy cow, that we have to.
Okay. Which chapter is holy cow?
Look at this differently.
Yeah. Look at, you can't do that to Tucker, man. You can't drop that kind of bomb on him. You can't, because now the money we're giving to Ukraine, especially since half of it is Lend-Lease, looks like a fucking drop in the bucket. There's not going to be a permanent Ukraine war, you fuck. We were dropping more than that in Afghanistan for 20 years. Ukraine war's a year old, and they're going to pay us back. They have a functioning government. They win. Not only are they more secure, but so are we. Unlike Afghanistan, where everybody's like, I don't know.
And we need to bring that money home and spend it on things here in America to make America stronger. Your point.
Spend that. We need to spend defense money at home. What? Policing America? Do we need tanks on the streets of America? Is that what we're talking about?
China and Russia is so valid.
Yeah, it's so valid. It's a I'm here to validate you. I'm here to validate you, Tucker. Like I validate your parking, if you know what I mean.
I'll be a little bit counterfactual on you, or a little bit iconoclastic. I think Chairman
and sarcastic and ironic, because I'm a Letterman
Xi
guy.
and the Chinese Communist Party are laughing all the way to the bank right now as they make,
of course they are.
Yeah, of course they are. Yeah, of course. They, they can't go to the bank, and they are communists, which is weird to say about communists laughing all the way to the bank. So, I guess the whole communist thing doesn't
play us again.
Well, sure, but
well, yeah. I mean, come on. Obviously. How?
Military and economic alliances are going to affect our economy. I mean, you got to think China's primary goal is to make money, right? I mean, it's a.
Yeah, I mean, it's a communist business. That's what they're there for, to make money, huh?
Business/government.
It's a business/government. It's a beverage and a business. It's China, the gut milk of nations.
And if China and Russia are allied, Russia providing the raw materials, I mean, this just makes the Chinese trade bloc much bigger and us much weaker, does it not?
Yeah. I mean, of course, Russia can't afford to buy the goods that China makes. So the raw materials that they get and they make there, they can't just sell them back to their own people and have an insulated economy, because that's how countries die. But
yeah, with the 2,500-mile border between China and Russia, and with Russia focused on Ukraine to the west right now, I got to think the Chinese Communist Party is just licking their lips going, this, we couldn't ask for better, because you know as well as I...
Wait a minute. Hey, asshat, that's not what he's saying, and that's not what Miller, you're fucking with his narrative again. Because he's making the case that China knows that if Russia fucks up and Putin dies, they could slice off a lot of Russia up, along their border. They could take a shit ton of Russian territory in an afternoon. That's not what he's talking about. I mean, there's a lot of words for that. Invasion is one. Alliance is not one of them.
They have serious limitations on their natural resources, and it all lies to the north. So, that's a...
Yes. So it would be better for them if the United States fucked up Russia by helping Ukraine, and Russia collapsed and China just seized that territory. So why the fuck do you think they actually want to help?
A little bit of an off-the-wall answer, but I think that...
Well, you're an idiot, so not surprising.
Chinese are playing the long game. We
Yeah, everybody thinks that.
As you highlight so much on...
Zelensky, if China sides with Russia, it's World War III. Well, it's because another country would be in, the entire world would technically be in it, because it would involve Asia.
On your show is we have this short view, and we need, and frankly, Vivek said the same thing. We have to look long term, and I think the Chinese probably are playing us both pretty well.
Yeah, this is one of those situations where, I know Tucker's face always looks like that, but it kind of makes sense now, because I don't know what the fuck this dude is talking about. Neither does he. First of all, he doubled back on the point that Tucker thought he was making. And then, I don't know, gave it a reach around. I don't know how do you fold back that kind of bullshit onto itself? This is the most origami, this is the cootie catcher of arguments.
Of course they are, as always.
Of course they are. Of course, yes. Oh, yes. Everything you say is a revelation. What do you mean, of course? What is it? All right, let's listen to that one last time.
You know, we as you highlight so much on your show is we have this short view, and we need, and frankly, Vivek said the same thing. You know, we have to look long term, and I think the Chinese probably are playing us both pretty well.
Of course they are, as always, and we're letting them. Chris Miller.
Of course they are, as always, and we're letting them. Okay. Now, that let me jump into some China shit, right? Just for a second, if I may, if I could. And this is just raw. If I spent a good deal of time, you know, for the fuck of it, you know, digging into things, it could get pretty goddamn awful pretty quick. And I have to scroll through so I don't show you something accidentally terrible. But let's see. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Woman. There we go. How about this? Let's see if we can. Hold on. Blocked on one of these things. Son of a bitch. Hold on. Oh yeah. Okay. Well, here's a good example. There was a Chinese girl who's I guess like a quote unquote like WeChat style influencer. She went to visit her sick father in the hospital. This girl in China, and she was bullied so much about having dyed her hair that she killed herself. I have to be careful about what I scroll through here because of the shit that will sometimes pop up. Pardon me ahead of time. Yeah. Yeah, they call her the pink hair prostitute because she dyed her hair pink. She was visiting her father. She posted the pictures of her visiting her father, and she killed herself. Okay, hold on. And I gotta see this. I have to be careful what I show on screen. Almost. Well, let's just go. I'll tell you what. I rather than get in danger of getting my shit knocked off, the internet because of this. There you go. Let's see. Here you go. Let's see this. Open link in new tab. There you go. We'll open this one in a new tab. I'll open just a couple things, but like right off the top. Here you go. We'll just roll through these things right here. Here you go. China's checkbook diplomacy has bounced. China can make friends or break legs. It can't do both. This is in regard to the Belt and Road Initiative, which they were using initially. They were using as a debt trap for impoverished African countries so that they could get resources and build bases around Africa, figuring they could use sort of, I don't know, Spanish tactics from the 1400s, and it would be okay in the modern era, and it's fucking not. And by the way, let's see, this is another one real quick. U.S. tells Saudis secret China base. 1 second. Let me back this back up. Here you go. Work on Chinese military base in the UAE abandoned after U.S. intervenes. The CIA and the American government, the intelligence community, let the UAE know that this port that China was building for them, I don't know why I said it that loud, the Khalifa port, as in Burj Khalifa, as in Sheikh Khalifa, which they name him everything after him currently, had a secret facility built into it for launching, I don't know, Dr. Evil submarines, and they told them about it, and the Saudis pulled the plug. Now it's interesting. This thing had been under construction for 3 years, and it was the Biden administration. The CIA told the Saudis that this was happening. The Trump administration didn't say a thing. Again, if Biden is on the take, you don't think he could have come up with a reason to not tell Saudi Arabia that China was building that base, to just use that for later, save that as a get out of Saudi Arabia diplomacy free card later? This is about the Belt and Road Initiative. Basically, their expenditures are too much for the countries that they built these things in, and they bring in their own workers, so they don't even help the economy flourish, like they said. They build a lot of bridges to nowhere. Here you go. Let me pop this out of the way. China's economic support for Russia could elicit more sanctions. U.S. officials pledged to crack down on shipments to Russia that can be used for both civilian and military purposes. But that has proved hard to police, which means you're going to have to do an overall one. Here's the fun part. Global firms are eyeing Asian alternatives to Chinese manufacturing. It's a nice little graphic they've got there of a dragon, and everybody's jumping over to the next thing. That's because they're leaving for Vietnam and Indonesia and India and anywhere but China. As a matter of fact, just for the proximity and the shipping ease, they want to move in the South China Seas area, which is why China wants to control those waters. In the same way that Russia wants the transit fees, for going through Ukraine or Kazakhstan to go to them. And then, of course, this one kind of sums it all up. China's economic recovery hinges on consumers. They're not spending. That's because there aren't any. Somewhere in the order of 118 to 120 million Chinese people, who should be their biggest spenders from 18 to 45 years old, don't exist. They overcounted those people in their census. And then a bunch of people died during COVID. Millions of Chinese people have died during COVID. Millions. Laugh in the face of anyone who says they've only got 5,000 deaths. Fuck you. Those people deserve to be remembered. They died of COVID. Somewhere in minimum 17 million people have died of COVID in China. Minimum. Lined up with any country that had, even workable vaccines and enough hospitals from the jump. The percentage of people versus the percentage of people who get sick versus the percentage of people who die from it, there is no way a country that large has a number as small as that. It's not fucking possible. It means they hit it and they don't care. And fuck that. And a lot of this has to do with the fact, I guess that's why Xi Jinping is laughing all the way to the bank, because he's laughing like a man who is losing his mind. That's how he's laughing. He's not counting the bucks on the way there. It's garbage. It's nonsense. And by the way, check out our dear friends at the China Show. And then, of course, Lauai86 and Serpent ZA. They have their own blog shows as well on top of their live stream. And let me see if I can see if I'll bring these guys up. Just so you guys know. That I'm not just like, hold on, let me stuff this in. Yeah, it's not playing. Okay, here we go. Just so you know, I'm not pulling this out of my ass. These guys lived in China, I think 15 and 12 years or 13 and 10 years respectively, depending on when we're dating it to. And their take on it is as raw and personal as anybody I've ever seen. And they come at it in many ways from the same position I'm in, which is I happen to love the country, and it disgusts me how poorly the people there are being treated by their government. It's just heartbreaking. So the idea that these dickheads are like, yeah, oh yeah, they're playing us. China's laughing all the way to the bank. They're just they're having it's so awesome. Go look up ghost cities, Chinese ghost cities. Go look up the Sinovacs, the Chinese vaccine. If you really want to be panicked, because I can't show it on here and nobody needs to see this, just go look up Chinese stabbings. Because China has as many stabbing deaths as we have gun deaths every year. They have mass stabbing events on par with our shooting deaths every year. And they are horrifying. And there's a myriad of reasons, not the least of which is they don't give a rat fuck about mental health. But also because they have entire generations of people who are just trapped and wound up like pit bulls in cages in every aspect of their life, and they're already mentally ill, and they snap, and it's just fucking hideous. I mean, there's again, also, by the way, you got that many people, you're going to have that much shit. It's like Russia saying they don't have any serial killers when it turns out they had 3 of the world's most prolific serial killers for years. But don't worry, America still has the record. Samuel Little, American, he for years. Black dude, I think from Texas, actually. Was it Texas? Anyways, just worked uninterrupted for decades. Samuel Little, go look it up if you want a true crime freak out. So, if anybody tells you that China's going to eat our lunch, or Xi Jinping is top of his game and they're playing us, or any of that shit, you have total permission to laugh in their fucking face, because their ignorance and their and arguably their penchant for acting as PR for the CCP is pathetic. Just saying. And again, I was there, lots. And I liked the people there. I wanted to like it even more than I did hanging out with some of the folks there. And then, you see, a couple of incidents that happen while you're over there. You see them on the internet, and they're like a few blocks away. Like 3 dudes just beat up a woman with bats in the street. And you're like, these assholes are wagging their finger at us all the time? What are the odds of the only time it ever happened 3 times while I was there? In a 2-week period. So, there's a ton of stuff. I recommend you guys, anytime somebody brings it up, just tell them ghost cities, what are our best ones? Yeah, ghost cities, mass stabbings, and fake food. Have them go chase down China fake food for a while. Fake food. It's bottomless. You could literally not touch on another issue that's going on with the Chinese government at all and spend all year looking at stories of fake food being eaten, not just in restaurants, by children at home. Idiots. I'm just saying. Stupid people that should not be taken seriously. I love you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. 4 o'clock tomorrow because I have family FaceTime an hour before that. So shows a little bit later. And then on Friday, we're still trying to get Malcolm to come on the show if he's available. Fingers crossed. Perhaps he can make it. Yeah, we'll see. Either way, if not, I'm going to have an interview with ChatGPT live on the air. I have a lot of questions. Okay. Much love. See you guys tomorrow. Thank you guys for the support. Thank you for the super chats. And thank you guys for the gifted subs. It really helps. Anything you can do to help the show always helps. Always welcome. And especially if all you can do is smile because, I'm your dude. Okay, bye.